So, hello people, welcome to the sixth episode of Awesome People series. And today we have with us Dr. Naxatra. So, he's the youngest metaphysician of India, and he's done a lot of good work. He has been a coach and he's been training people for 7 years. So he's doing a lot of good work in his field. He's running a YouTube channel called Yuva Josh, and metaphysics basically is a branch of philosophy. So that examines the fundamental nature of reality. So it kind of deals with the abstract concepts like life, like the meaning of life, the meaning of being, knowing, and identity, time, and mind. So all of that. So let's hear a story from him and let's invite him. I see that he has joined in. So let's invite him to be on stage with us. Etc. I can see you. You are there. Are you able to join in?
Yeah, he's there. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Good
Good
afternoon.
morning. Good afternoon, Divya.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good too. You look very fresh. And there's also a plant behind you, so that also adds to that freshness. That's
Yes,
nice.
yes, yes, yes.
So, Nakshatra, let's get started. And
Sure, sure.
first of all, I want to hear all about your story. So, what has been your journey throughout it? And what's your story of like coming till this point? And where did you like get the inspiration and start?
Right. So, as you know, in India, I'm a 90s kid. So, for 90s kid, if you consider anything else from, engineering or doctor, if you think about it, you are considered a terrorist. So, I was going to become an engineer by default. And at that point of time, I realized that this is something that I don't want to do. And my parents are quite supportive in that manner. So my sister is also was also a motivation speaker at that point of time, and she
Oh,
also followed her heart. People told her that you should do a job, a government job, exam de do or job kar lo. She got a job, but then she didn't go for the interview. So that
okay.
was a phase where we all were like my father left his government job, my sister left his job, and I left my college. So we all were stuck at home and thinking about what to do with our life. So
Okay. Difficult
at
phase it
that point
must
of
be.
time, yes, yes, yes. So at that point of time, I knew that I don't want to become an engineer. That was for sure, because that's something that I felt that was not coming from my heart. And I've always believed in one thing, that you should do what you really want to do in your life. So for
Okay.
me,
So,
freedom is very important. So I thought that if I become an engineer, my freedom will be compromised. So that's where I decided I don't want to become an engineer. And then one fine day, the very next day, I read a book called Awaken the Giant Within from Tony Robbins. So which
yeah.
was there in my library for many years. But before that, I didn't used to read books. But then I thought, okay, let me give it a try. I read that book, and I remember 17th of December, I left college, and on 26th
Okay.
of December, I was giving lectures, motivational lectures to people. So
What? Seriously?
that's how the
Like
journey
in one
started.
week?
Yes, like in one week.
Wow. Okay. So, like, by reading that book, you got such a motivation that you can like inspire other people too. Like, what did you start on? On doing what?
It was. I guess it was always there. I was.
Hmm.
I liked singing. I liked acting. So I had no stage fear. But
Yeah.
having no stage fear and speaking in front of public is a different thing. So like if you have to speak to people, you need to read a lot, and
Hmm.
that's where I started gaining a lot of knowledge. As you can see behind me as well, you can see a big library that I have at my home. So this is just a
Wow, that's
ten
so
ten
beautiful.
percent
It's
of
like in the shape of a
yes,
tree. Beautiful.
yes. So 10% of what I read is here, because this is the place where my friends come and they take the book. I don't like it. So the books that are close to me are in my cupboard. I don't show it. So I started
Wow.
reading. I started reading a lot of books as as we talked yesterday as well. I read 500 books in the span of 3 months. I continuously gained
Nice.
knowledge from all the experts in the world, and I made myself, I made myself indulge in all the things. I remember when my friends were going to pawn shop, smoking cigarettes, going to party. I didn't do any of them, and I
Wow.
focused. My friends were at CCD, and just outside of CCD there was a library where I was sitting. So that's the
Hmm.
compromise that I had to make. I cut off with my friends for a few months just for the
So,
individual growth, and I think that was necessary at that point of time.
but then few months is like this few months it's easier to say, but it's easier said than done, right? Like 3 months continuously you were reading books and like if someone has missed the point over here, he Nakshatra has actually read 500 books in like 3 months. So
Yes.
like wasn't it a bit of overload? Like how do you even take up that much of knowledge? How many hours of reading that you do in a day?
So that's the only thing I used to do because I didn't have any job. My girlfriend left me because I was not no longer going to become an engineer. So her family were
What?
like, अच्छा ये
Seriously?
तो अबे
Okay.
engineer नहीं बनेगा तो इसके साथ तो क्या होगा? So I was very free at that point of time. So only thing I used to do was read. So that was my area of focus, and that one point of focus really helped me.
Wow. Like, how did it later help you in your journey of like reading so many books, right? So, like, was it a bit confusing of knowledge coming from different sources and like different opinions, or was it more awakening and more opening you up
So
to the right thing?
as you might say, it was at the beginning it was awakening, and then later on it became kind of overwhelming. So after 3 months, what I did was see when you have a lot of input and there is no output, you kind of feel overwhelmed. So if you read a lot
Yes.
of books, if you see YouTube videos, so what I did was I started giving lectures to my mother. My mother was the first participant of mine. So whenever I used to read books, I used to communicate with my mother that okay, this is what I've learned. I used to communicate with my sister, with my friends. So that's how I used to keep on, keep that flow going. Otherwise, if there's only input, there are chances
Yeah,
that you, at a certain point, you will feel, अरे यार ये तो बहुत हो रहा है.
definitely. Okay. Yeah, so that is how so your own family members were your first audience, basically.
Yeah, still, if I prepare any video, my mother is the first one to know what content I'm
Wow.
going to speak.
Such a supportive family. Nice. Lucky to have got
Yes,
them.
yes.
And then, like, after that, that may be a long time ago, right? 2011, 12, 13, around that
Yeah, it
time.
was 2011. Yes, it was 2011. Then
Hmm.
I did my doctorate in metaphysical science. I learned hypnotherapy. I learned neurolinguistic programming. I'm a certified CBD practitioner, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. I learned a lot of things. And that's where I realized, okay, this is something that I want to do. And the word self development is used a lot. And I think my journey started with that only, by reading books and by attending lectures. So I read a quote which says that after 20 years, your life is going to be the same except for two things. One is the books that you read, and second, the people that you meet. So that's where I
So true.
started reading books, and that's really
Wow.
changed my life.
True. So we are the ones who can actually go out and expose ourselves to that kind of people, to that kind of books to be transformed into that person, right?
Yes,
Wow.
yes, yes.
Beautiful. So, like, what did you start your coaching with? Like, started giving coaching in what kind of domains, and then now you are doing like what?
So before, when I started, I was giving it to school and college students. General motivation, goal setting, law of attraction, confidence. So I started with that. Then I shifted to healing with thoughts. So how by thoughts and emotion you can manage your own body and at the same time heal other person as well. So I've trained more than 500 doctors of government of Gujarat. ONGC was one
Wow.
of my one of my clients at an early stage. So I used to teach officers on self development overall. So it included everything. I mean, health, relationship, money, finances, everything.
Okay. That's a comprehensive kind of view that you want a complete development of a person. So you teach them in all the
Yes,
domains.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. So
Beautiful.
at that point of time,
So,
life coach was not very famous. So
yeah.
nowadays, everyone is like in every house there's one life coach. But at that point of time, it was not so famous.
Okay, yeah. So, like, you would have had to go over different cities to actually like conduct a live seminar, arrange for halls, and
Yes.
then registration, posters, everything, right? It must be a little hassle. Like right now, it's kind of very easy, hassle free, but then at that time, it would be very different from now.
Yes, but when I look back now, I feel it was different. At that point of time, when I was doing it, I thought that's the only way. So you don't feel like,
Yeah,
okay, this is different. But now I feel okay. That was a lot of hassle, and because
true.
of COVID, all of our programs have become now online. So that's a good thing.
Hmm. Okay, good. That's a good thing. You're also liking it, that means.
Yes, 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 very much.
Okay, cool. So right now, like we have got enough about you, and I think that is good to get us started, right? So you have done a lot.
True.
You have been teaching people, training people for over 7 years now. So a good amount of time taking seminars, and you also told me that you have attended the live workshop of Tony Robbins in Singapore, right? His
Yes,
Unleash Your
yes,
Power Within program.
yes.
So,
UPW.
well, we'd also like to know more about that a little later, but then that's really good. And like you have attended a lot of workshops and given a lot of workshops. So, great. Let's start with the questionnaire now. So, there are a lot of questions and the time is kind of limited. So, let's start with it now.
Sure, sure.
Now, okay. So the first question is about the kind of audiences that you have addressed. So like you have addressed a lot of audiences in your seminars and workshops. So you have dealt with doctors, like you said. Then you have had corporate people. Then you have college people, school people. So a varied kind of field, from varied kind of fields. So which audience do you think has been the most skeptical audience? Like the most doubtful ones who are not at all trusting you initially.
So that's a very good question because when I started my career, as I said, I had the most difficult audience because they all were government officers, class one officers. So
Okay.
what I know is that the more filter or the more identity they have in their mind about, okay, this is
Yeah.
I am of this cadre, and I was 21 or 22, and they had to listen
Hmm.
to me. So yeah, I would say it's not very generic, but
Hmm.
people who don't want to listen or don't want to grow are the hardest audience. I mean, I've had
Hmm.
audience who are 60 or 70, but they still are
Okay.
eager to learn and listen.
Yes.
So it's not about some age difference or particular community or particular area. It's more about people who have a closed mindset. So they are the hardest
Ah,
to teach, and they don't want to grow. So I feel that they should not listen. I mean, if he's happy with not growing, that's okay.
okay. So it's like the government offices, maybe the class one officers, not particularly targeting them, but then when you dealt with them, they must have had a certain kind of pride in them. That is why they were like kind of skeptical of getting knowledge from a 22-year-old person.
Yes,
That
yes,
sense.
yes.
Okay. So, like, how do you even identify that these people are not like ready to grow, or they are not listening, they are not engaging?
I mean,
Like, you can just see from the.
I learned NLP, so body language,
Ah,
facial expression. I used to know that. Okay, what is he thinking and what kind of a person he is. But that's okay. Once they start to listen, I think we all have. I mean, if I was in their place, I would feel the same because ये 21 years का हमें कैसे खाएगा? I have a lot of experience in that area. So yeah, that
ah.
I don't blame them.
So, like, just a kind of follow-up question on that, like, how did you get their attention then? Like, how did you make them engage in what you had to say?
So I would start with, I mean, I'll drop their weapons immediately by saying that I'm not here to teach you or tell you anything. You guys have more experience than me. We are here to learn together. So as
Wow.
as as soon as I say that, people are like, okay, he's not, he's a friend of mine.
That's such a beautiful thing to say. Yeah, true, right? It would actually, yeah, lower down their weapons. True.
Yes, yes,
Their
yes,
guards, basically. Good.
yes.
And on the contrary, share with us an experience that had been the best set of people for you. So, like, which has been your personal favorite seminar, with which you were very happy at the end of it that you have got such an amazing, enthusiastic, and engaging this audience. So, like, what was that experience like?
I mean, there were a lot of instances like this. I can't think of one particularly, but I think
Hmm.
people who come, there are two kinds of training. One, which is in-house training, which has been arranged by
Okay.
the boss for the employees, and one
Hmm.
which is where there are called public programs, where people come, register, they pay for themselves, and they attend. So these are the programs which generally I like because they have invested and they know the value of it. So I like to
Hmm.
do programs on my own, not the corporate thing. I mean, they are great too, but I would choose any
Hmm.
day any public program, and especially if there are youngsters. I mean, not very young people. If they are for 20 to 30 kind of age, they have a little experience as well, and they want to grow as well. So that's a right kind of audience
Okay.
which I really like.
Okay, so like the audience that is younger than that, they are basically just curious and they don't have much experience. So that is why.
Yes, yes, yes,
Hmm.
yes.
Okay, the 20s to 30s are your favorite, right?
Yeah.
So, so you have also started a channel for them, right? The Yuva Josh channel, which is there. So let's take up the next question on that itself then. So
Sure, sure.
like based on your channel that you have started on YouTube, and you bring out stuff that's especially meant for youngsters, for like the people in their 20s. So what motivated you to start this? And it's like, did this idea come to you as an epiphany, or is there a story behind it?
So I mean, as I just shared my story, when I was when I left engineering, I didn't have
Hmm.
kind of a mentor or a platform where I can learn all of these things. I learned it by myself. So I had to search, I had to
Hmm.
research, and then I made a lot of mistakes as well. What I thought was if there was kind of a platform like Yuva Josh for me, where I could find okay which books to read, what kind of friends you should have, what kind of career I should choose. If I had known back then, it would have saved a lot of time for me. So that was the
Hmm.
story. And my brother-in-law, Sneh Desai, and I were discussing about this. And that's where he thought that, let's do this. So we founded that together of the idea of Yuva Josh, of a university where people can learn actually the real stuff, which is not taught in school and colleges.
So real stuff, like what domains do you basically focus on?
Divya, I guess I just lost you. Can you repeat what you just said?
Okay, so like the stuff which you were saying on Yuva Josh. So
Mhm.
like what all areas do you focus on?
So there's career, there's love, there's relationship, there's friendship, there's personality, there's communication, how to earn money as well. So there are a lot of stuff that we talk about. So anything which problem that they people have, or at least I had faced in my life, I make a video on that.
Ah,
So that's the idea behind
okay.
that.
So that is how you give them a heart-to-heart connect because you have been through those phases and you are bringing out those problems which you have faced. So
Yes.
nice. That's a great thing. And the same age group of youngsters that you are talking about, right? So they are the most enthusiastic ones also, and they are the ones who doubt everything that is being told to them. So it's
Yes.
like they ask the why behind everything. And if you tell them that A is correct, they would give you n number of reasons that no, B can also be correct, and there can be
Hmm.
possibilities for C also. So, like, how do you feel about like dealing with them, and how do you like handle their endless questions?
I mean, I haven't had someone who had this kind of questions because I think once they connect with you, once they believe in you, they don't have questions. The questions only
Oh,
come when
okay.
they are doubtful about it. So, and I believe that your content is important, but more than your content, your intent is important. So whenever I make YouTube videos or I conduct workshop, there are a lot of fumbles that I make as well. and people try to don't do fumbles, or they don't try to make mistakes. I think that's what connects people about your authenticity. Like if you're authentic with what you're doing, people will connect and they will ask questions, and that questions are not coming from doubt of okay ye bol raha hai sach hai ki nahi hai. The doubts are coming from the content. So that
Yeah.
is okay. So that can be solved. If they are doubtful about you,
Okay.
it's kind of a that kind of problem are not solved easily.
Yeah, that's kind of a difficult place to be in. Even like
Yes,
during the event, that is a very difficult place to be in. Okay, but then you're able to connect with your audience very nicely. So that is why I guess they focus more on your content, right?
yes, yes.
Nice, beautiful. So, like, so you have done a lot up till now, and I want to know that what is your mission behind it? So it's like behind all of this that you are doing, what is that deep thing that is inside you that is actually driving you to like wake up every day and continue this like ahead also?
Hmm.
So like what is that thing that drives
So
you?
I mean, every day when I wake up and my when I open my YouTube channel, or I open my WhatsApp, or my open my Facebook page, there are people who are saying that okay, sir, I did this program and now I know what is my passion. Sir, I did this program, now I started earning money. Sir, I did this program and now
Okay.
I have my dream partner. So the kind of things that they
Wow.
give, they tell me, that motivates me. So by knowing that my doing something is making a difference, a small difference in someone's life, that actually motivates me. Because as you know, money never motivated me, and money is just numbers. So after a certain point of time, there's the feelings and the emotions of people that actually drive me.
Okay. So the beautiful smiles or the impact that you are bringing to their lives, and like they come and tell that to you, and
Yes,
that brings in the change. That
yes,
gives you
yes.
the motivation. Okay, great. So like have you like thought about where did you want to go with it like ahead of this? Do you want to take it to a particular tangent or like continue in this way?
I think I'm kind of a person. I have a vision, but I don't focus on the vision. I think right now as well, what I'm doing, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm a satisfied soul, so I don't think much about what is going to happen. I'm
Yeah.
happy with what is happening, and I think universe has its own way of doing things. I don't try to force it, and at certain point, I want to have 1 million subscribers of Yuva Josh, but I'm not
Wow.
desperate about it. So
Hmm.
that's what my goal is, and I want to reach to maximum people because I believe in what I give, what I teach, and what my ideology is. So I know that this is going to happen in future, but I don't force about it because the more you force, I think somewhere or the other you are not letting it happen by its own course.
Hmm. Okay. So being desperate in that situation doesn't allow you to be in a good positive energy, and then that doesn't bring in the right kind of results,
Like
right?
let's say for
So,
example in a relationship, if you're desperate about someone, "Arey, mere ko chhod ke mat jana, I can't live without you,"
uh,
that desperation actually pushes the other person away. But
yes.
if you allow the freedom, if you give them space, and if you're not desperate, that actually allows the relationship to grow. So that's how I
True.
look at it.
True. No, it's like the place where you're operating from. So if you're operating from desperation of fear, that will bring in the same kind of responses. Okay? If you're
Right.
operating from a different kind of energy, like you are operating from an energy of of satisfaction. You're operating from the energy of believing in yourself, your ideology. So I think yes, that's beautiful. That will make the difference.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, like, since you have been a coach for like 7 years, you have given coaching and training to more than 1 lakh people. So, what is the definition of success for you personally?
So for me, if you ask me, my definition of success is, as I just said in the beginning, it's freedom. So freedom to do what I
Okay.
want, freedom to think what I think, and not other people telling me what should I do, and I can live my life with my own freedom. So that is what success for me is.
Okay. So in that terms, you are already leading a very successful life, right?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay. Nice. So that is, oh, okay. That is why you are satisfied. That is why you operate from stability.
yes.
Good. So, like, share like one or two of the best appreciations that you have got from people, or like the kind of compliments
Uh,
that you keep on
hmm.
receiving.
I mean, there are a lot of things, but one which I remember is the first time that somebody came and took my autograph. That's the thing that I have still in my mind. I think it was in 2013 or 14, and people came. One lady came to me and asked for a photograph after my workshop. So that was one thing, one experience which I would remember for a lifetime.
Okay. So, like, how did that make you feel? Like someone had that must be the first time that someone is taking your autograph, right? So, how did that make you
So
feel?
I felt like I should keep a pen. That's what my thought was. Now, when I
Okay. Yeah. I
and I
like
mean,
apart.
apart from that, I thought, okay, now I'm doing something. I had that feeling. But my father always told me to not take all these things seriously, because if you take that those kind of things seriously, you are carried away. So I just focus on my job.
Oh.
So from now onwards, appreciation do, I mean, it do make you feel better, but after a certain point of time, you're not doing for it. You're doing for,
Hmm.
I like, law of dharma kind of a thing. Like it is my duty, even if no one appreciates it, I don't care. I just watch my video. I think, okay, is this the better than the last one? If it's okay, then good. Because whenever people appreciate, they have their own frame of mind. So you shouldn't believe what people are saying, and not
Hmm.
random people. So appreciation when it comes from my family, like my sister, my parents, I know that is true, and I take that seriously. Otherwise, I don't take anybody's appreciation or criticism gracefully. I think I don't need to, because they don't know me as a person.
Hmm. But then that is what we kind of try to do, right? We kind of try to connect with people on a more personal level so that they get to know us more personally and they get to like even see our lives and how we have come, where we have come, so that they know what we are teaching. They can connect more to the content. So, like, doesn't it act in a little contrary way?
No, no. I mean, when I'm coaching someone, I'm a coach. So in their mind, they have this kind of a frame about me. Okay, I'm a coach, and they like me because of the kind of things that I teach, and the kind of difference that I make. They don't like me as a person. They don't even know me as a person. They don't know my problems. They don't know my challenges. So
Yeah.
that way, that part, I know that, okay, if I want to take some advice or any form of input or feedback, I know which kind of people to take.
Ah, okay. Okay, so you want to mean that they don't know you on a personal level because they share their problems with you, but you are not actually like sharing all of your problems with them. So
Yes.
maybe, okay, that is why you are their coach and they are the students.
Right, right.
Okay, nice. So that's beautiful. Like, tell us more about metaphysics actually. So you have done a PhD in metaphysics. So where did you get that idea from actually? So that's very new to me also. Like,
Hmm.
and you are the youngest person to do it in India. So, like, and the first one to do it in Gujarat actually.
Yes,
So,
yes.
what was your idea behind that? How did you like even go towards that point?
I mean, I saw a movie called The Secret. If you might have saw this as well, The Secret Law of Attraction. And that there's someone called Dr. Joe Vitale. He's also a metaphysician. And when I first saw that video, I thought this is what I want to do. I mean, I didn't know what that degree was, but I thought I want to do something like this. I want to become a metaphysician. I didn't know the meaning of it, but I thought I want to learn about mind science. I want to know more about how to access that kind of energy. So then I searched, I searched on Google. I asked some of my friends who were in the similar field, and from there I got the idea that there's university which teaches about all these things. So that's where I got the idea.
Okay, so you went to US? to actually
No,
do
no,
that?
it was a no, no, no. It was distance course. It is a
Okay.
self-paced study as any other courses in US. So
Mm-hmm.
it kind of made sense because if it was in US, I wouldn't go because otherwise I didn't want to study the conventional university kind of a thing.
Okay. Being a dropout, that was your kind of way to like keep absorbing
Yes,
things on your own pace.
yes, yes.
Okay. So how do you think that that has helped you now?
That has helped
Like
me a lot
metaphysics.
because there were a lot of meditations, there were a lot of philosophies in that, which are the foundation of my trainings. I think that really built the foundation of what I was doing. And it's like if you read Bhagavad Gita when you are growing up, you kind of change as a person. So similar to
Yeah.
I also read Bhagavad Gita at the same time I learned metaphysics as well. So everything that I teach is coming from that place. So that is where every one of I mean I have a millionaire mindset course which is about earning
Mhm.
money and becoming rich. That also is a basis of metaphysics.
Okay. So like what kind of things that you learned in metaphysics? So
So
that
it,
is
it's it's
not science,
basically
right? That is philosophy.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
philosophy. It's about how you can utilize your mind. So there are a lot of visualization, there are a lot of affirmations that
Mhm.
are used there, and there are a lot of philosophy behind how to actually utilize your mind to the maximum capacity. So that's
Okay.
what I learned in that.
Okay. So like what was your first program that you launched after all of
That
this?
was that was Beyond Mind Power, the first program that I launched. That
Okay.
was called
And
Beyond
like
Mind
why
Power.
is it
Yes.
named that way?
So there are a lot of people who were doing mind power programs, but very few people. They all were copying. I mean, there was in Gujarat there was Jitendra Adia sir and Sneh Desai sir, the two people who were master of mind power. So everyone was copying, and I
Mhm.
hated copying. So I thought I want to do something else, something beyond that. So that's where Beyond Mind Power came into place.
Okay. So everyone was teaching mind power, and that's where you went beyond that to actually go
Yes,
about it.
yes, yes.
Okay, great. So, like, as you deal with youngsters, what advice do you want to give them in terms of relationship, like balancing between relationship and their success, their aspirations?
I think I also made a video on this love versus career. I think when my mama gave me this advice, he said to me that बेटा तू जब तक 25 का नहीं हो जाता तब तक तू शादी के बारे में मत सोचना. And that advice stuck to me, and I it was like at 25th तक some hormonal changes होता है. And I
Mhm.
believe in that. I think that uh, when we are growing up, we feel that okay, this is our true love, this is the kind of partner I want. But at that point of time, you're not mature enough to decide. I mean,
Mhm.
not just from love perspective, from career perspective also, we are not sure what to do. So,
Mhm.
every person who is in 20s, I always advise them first make your career and then make a relationship. And if you like someone, you can tell them, okay, relax. This is something I want to do with my life. And if we grow, if I'm capable enough, and then we'll meet.
Hmm. Right. Like,
Because
so if it's meant to be, it can wait.
yes,
So you're not in a hurry. You're not operating out of like drive a sense, right? Because you know that if it's truly meant to be, it would be there, and maybe you'll meet again. Maybe you'll disconnect and you'll meet again.
or maybe you will not meet again, and that was not the relationship meant to be. So people operate, as you said, by all of my friends are married, they have kids. They always tell me, "अरे तेरे को नहीं मिली तो क्या होगा?" I don't operate from that kind of philosophy. I think there is enough for everyone in the universe, and you can
Hmm.
get whatever you want at the right time. So because of fear कि अरे कल खाना नहीं मिलेगा तो आज सब कुछ खा लूं. What is that kind of philosophy?
True, right? Yeah, true. अगर ऐसा किया होता तो रोज ही like we would have had a bad stomach.
Yes, 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 very true.
True. So if you operate in a state of hurry, maybe every day, like every once in a while, you'll keep having bad relationships.
Yes, very true. And people are afraid of being single, and especially this generation. They need a partner to make them feel secure, to approve them, and that's the kind of challenge. And the people who
So
can
like
stay
what is
alone, people who can stay alone are the strongest people, I believe.
So like what kind of advice you give to the people who are staying alone and sometimes when they need that kind of feedback or appreciation or like reassurance that everything would be okay. So like where do you tell them to seek the right thing? Where did you actually seek the right thing once you were
So,
out of
according
that?
to Tony Robbins, there are six human needs. You might know about it. There are six emotional needs that we all have, and to meet that needs, we go from different places. So, one of the needs that we have is love and connection. So, we
Hmm.
all have love, the need to feel loved and to give love. We all of us have that need. But how do we find that need that decides that it is positive or negative? For example, my way of love could be talking to a friend. My way of love could be having a tea with my mom. My way of love could be doing a live video, making a video. So
Hmm.
people who are seeking love from just one person, and they are making one person the whole priority of their lives, when they separate, उनका जब ब्रेकअप हो जाता है, they feel a sense of loss. Why? Because एक ही इंसान में से उनको love मिल रहा था. What I tell them is, you should become love. You should not wait for the other person. So that's the kind of that's a very bad place to be in a relationship. That मैं इसलिए relationship में हूँ because I'm getting love and he's getting love. It's actually a place to give love, that both the partners are so happy and so in love with their life in general. When they come together, they are there to share, not to seek and leech out the love that they already have.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we are not meant to be leeches that suffer other people's this thing. But then, yeah, beautiful, especially in a relationship and in a romantic relationship. So that's one of a kind, and
Yes.
that has to be like equal in both of the senses. Like somewhere in some place, someone can be down and the other person can pick the other person up. But like most of the times, it has to be like both of them has to be in a particularly stable position.
Yes, and
So
if you are always trying and lifting the other person up, after a point of time, you will be tired. You'll feel like, अरे यार ये कैसा relationship है? So once in a while, it's okay. Once in a while, just out of love, you do that. That's okay. But every time you feel like, अरे यार मेरे को कोई आए उठाए, that is not going to happen. And if that does happen, eventually that person, you are not sure of anything in life. Only thing you are sure
yeah,
about is yourself.
yes.
So yeah,
So
try to
maybe
be
the
try to
other
be
person.
single and be self आत्मनिर्भर बनो. जितने भी
Ah,
youngsters हैं.
yeah. Otherwise, that would burn out the other people, like the other person. And like, if you are there by your own, you will have to figure out things. And I think there are a lot of memes also right now. So like you are coaching and like there are many coaches out there. I'm also like in that field. So that there are a lot of things and a lot of courses out there, a lot of programs that are running and people are giving their best to actually do that. Right?
Yes. So trying
So
finding love from different areas and different things, different activities.
hmm. So the people who are like there must be people who are like kind of skeptical towards coaching or towards like there are people who think that coaches are just left out for money or they don't really they just sharing whatever they know just because they want to be out there and they want to speak because they couldn't do maybe anything else. What would you tell those people?
I don't tell anything to them. I don't focus on them because life is too short to focus on those people. So I don't take them seriously. I tell them get well soon, and I go ahead and I talk to people who matter, and I focus on what I want to do. Because if I focus on that, I mean, law of attraction says the same thing. If whatever you focus on, you get. I don't want to focus on that kind of people, and I don't judge them. I just feel that okay, they don't have enough references. If they had gone through coaching and they said, "Kera nahi maza aaya," then I'm
Yeah.
okay. People just make statements based on what they've seen, and they think, okay, हाँ ये तो
Hmm.
ऐसा ही है.
Hmm. That's true. So they are basically the spectators from far and they are like judging based on that. Maybe they should go on and actually like try to experience without a wall in front of
Yes,
them. Then they'll get to experience what it
true,
means
very
like.
true.
Nice. Great. So thank you, Nakshatra, for being with us. You have shared a lot of good things with us. And I truly, truly appreciate you being on this platform, coming here, sharing your own story, inspiring us through that also, and through the work that you are already doing. So that's a beautiful thing to do. And is there any last thing that you want to say to the audience?
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for having me on the show as well. And I wish you all the best for all the future episodes that you're going to conduct. This is the kind of way to, as I said, the books that you read, the people that you meet. So that it's kind of a good thing for audience as well to get to know a lot of people, and you're doing a wonderful job at that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Naxatra.
Thank you. And the last thing I would like to end with is that focus is very powerful. So right now there are a lot of distractions just because of social media and mobile phone. I think anybody who is starting their career, I would advise them to shut off their social media for 2 months, 3 months, and just focus on what they want to pursue, and cut off all the distractions that are there in their lives. And you will see tremendous
Yes.
results after that.
Wow. Beautiful. A very hard advice to follow, but seems like what seems to be very hard and overwhelming would work on, right? So,
Yes, yes.
yeah, it was lovely. Yeah, truly, true, Maulik. It was lovely listening to you. And thank you so much, Akshatra, for coming on.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Bye bye. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, so people, I hope you really like this episode and you have got a lot from Nakshatra. Like, I personally found his journey to be beautiful. Like, he, especially the kind of books that he has read and the kind of passion that he wants to grow on and the humor he had. So, yeah, that also good. And you can tell me who would you want to have next? What kind of people should I invite? So that if you have anyone particular in mind, or if you want to like invite people from a particular domain, you can tell me and we can go on with that for the next time. So thank you so much everyone for joining in. Bye bye. Have a great Sunday. Bye bye.